What's up, Libra? This is Soul from Intuitive Tarot, here to look at your week ahead starting December 8th, 2025. Libra, I hope all is well. Welcome any new subscribers to my channel. I appreciate you. The deck I am using will be listed in the description box. Not reading any reversals, just going to cleanse the energies here from doing Virgo's messages for the weekend. We're going to grab all the messages pertaining to Libra. All right, so give me all the messages here for Libra. What can Libra expect energetically this week? Getting a little tongue-tied here. Give me all the messages here for Libra, please. All right, let's cut the deck, Libra, and begin the messages. And for you, we're going to start off with the very first card of energy. And for you, we have the Nine of Blades, okay? So the Nine of Blades, definitely, you guys represent the sword. So the Nine of Blades is that type of energy where any forms of betrayals, deceit. You can see the woman with her hands up. She's peeking out through her hands. You see the dog there. You see the pills on the, it looks like the nightstand or whatever. So she could be going through it. This is usually indicative of some sort of depression, usually major depression. It could be any energies related to an increase of anxiety. It could be fears associated with almost anything. Still dealing with conflicting energies, unresolved conflicting energies, I should say. That could be from your recent past, distant past, could be something that happened just yesterday. Anyway, this is always seeking some sort of relief. Like I said before, you see the pill bottle there. So it could be through, prescription medications to decrease that anxiety or depression, or it could be from prescription medication. Could be involving having to drink alcohol, smoke cigarettes, or anything that's going to help you to relieve whatever the Nine of Swords energy is. Oftentimes this card, when it shows up here, if it is something that afflicts you, then more than likely there are others who may not know. So this is a card that really deals with a lot of pain and suffering in silence. That's what I was trying to say. So, but also too, I do say that if you're not experiencing this, then maybe, the connection that you have with somebody else, then maybe they're dealing with all of this energy of the Nine of Swords, and then there's some sort of barriers or blockages. And I oftentimes call out that it could be that they are someone that that's incarcerated. All right. So I'm gonna throw a clarifier on this card. So this is a card of, I always say SA. It could be sexual abuse, physical abuse, emotional abuse, mental abuse, whatever you want to call it. Physical. So, but why did the Nine of Swords show up as Libra's very first card in the spread? Which is really not a bad thing, because it can only get better, right? So let's see if we can hone in on the energies of that Nine of Swords and why it showed up. Okay, so this is a big money card here. The King of Pentacles will represent money. So maybe there's a Libra that's really, stressing out about their financial affairs. Okay, maybe they're afraid of their work. Maybe they're afraid of some sort of layoff. The jobs, not even necessarily temporary it could be temporary layoffs, but it could be layoffs in general. Companies closing down, cutbacks. So it could be that, and you're stressing over how you're going to make it in terms of making ends meet. So that could be the Nine of Swords. Yeah, so that's the big money card. So I think it's money involved, and it's over finances, financial worries. Up next, now we have the Four of Pentacles. Four of Pentacles is, you're holding on tight to something securely. You need to release it. There still could be a small pay raise coming in for some Libras that I'm reading for, and also saving up for something greater. Now we have the Page of Pentacles. Okay, so drawing all money cards here. So Page of Pentacles could be the job offer, the birth of a business idea, or it could be seen as the beginning stages of your, if there was any financial concerns here, then that means that there could be a turnabout. All right. It may be something specific related to, I'll hold my message to the fact that it might be someone who is dealing with some sort of cutback, layoff, or could be termination. I'll go as far as termination from a job. And the big money card would represent being terminated from a very, powerful position. Maybe like managerial, supervisory, very important. All right, so following the Page of Pentacles here, now we have the Eight of Wands. Now, this is conflicting, right? Eight of Wands shows up here, and you know that Eight of Wands is always about happy news that may be coming to you to put a smile on your face. Always a touch of element of surprise. And here you see the mailman delivering some letter to this woman who's smiling big. So that's the happy news that you may receive. So it could be through any forms of mails or packages. See the house soul sign. So it could be anything related to either a purchase of a home, or that you are the Libra that's put your home up for, on the market, and it becomes sold. This is a card that represents communication. So effective communication, whatever it is that you need to express to others this week, will be well received by them. Any communication coming from others towards you will be understood by you. Okay, so there is a lot of positive, rapid energy about to come your way. Also, too, I read the Eight of Wands in terms of movement, traveling. If some Libras that I'm reading for are traveling this week, you're going to be safe to and from. Text message, you could receive a text message that puts a smile on your face. So it could be something that arrives through the mail, delivered by the mailman. It could be a phone call that you're waiting for, or a phone call that arrives and puts a smile on your face. But I'd pay attention to that card right there. All right, so up next now we have the Two of Pentacles here. In this instance, Libra, you're juggling two things. It could be that you're working two jobs. You still could be getting a small pay raise. Oftentimes, I just read that you could just go through the week trying to balance your checkbook. Then we have the Major Arcana, the Temperance, that settles all of this energy, especially if you're dealing with the Nine of Swords energy. That Temperance card comes in here to balance or rebalance, restore. You can see the the couple here who seem to be at odds with one another. Of course, the Temperance in the back would be the mediator. She's here to, squash all of that and just make peace with everybody. So yeah, she rebalances all of that energy for you. Temperance also too represents all relationships. All right. And also I read the Temperance card as Mother Nature. So you could just be spending some time outdoors enjoying Mother Nature and God's beauty. And then also to the Temperance card, almost forgot that the Temperance card could be for some Libras where they just, pull back the energy onto themselves and just focus that energy onto, themselves and pay attention, doing stuff for you, loving yourself, nurturing yourself, caretaking for yourself, taking care of, your own needs, basically. All right. And it's not to be any forms of selfish. When you do that, it's not to feel guilty about it, not to feel selfish about it. It's just what's necessary for you to do. You're no good to no one if you're not good to yourself. Up next, now we have the Major Arcana, the Moon. Okay, so there's emotional changes that are upcoming here. Making sure that you are checking on your emotional state during, this entire week here, making sure that you are balanced. But you have the protection of the Temperance card to help you with that balance if there's some sort of emotional highs and lows that you might be dealing with this week. Also, there's a cycle of energy that's ending for you. A new cycle is about to open up. Trusting your intuition, because that Moon is all about that intuition. And then whatever was hidden or kept from you in terms of secrets now may become illuminated for you, revealed. Likes and crushes come forward when it comes to romance. When you receive the Moon in your card, I always say when it comes to those emotions and how the emotions are, could come off towards you, or how you come off towards others, it's very fluid. You know what I mean? So it's very things go deep. So I always say that, you could be really expressing yourself in terms of how you feel towards someone. Like, you're saying you love them. This could be, family and friends, or in love with them. It could be a partner, romantic partner. All of that energy, of course, could be coming towards you from the ones that I just spoke about. All right, following the major arcana of the moon, now we have the Three of Wands. Three of Wands is positive energy that you may be moving towards. Again, it's almost like that Eight of Wands. And then either you're moving towards the positive energy, or the positive energy is about to move towards you. Since both these cards here represent traveling, there could be some traveling involved. For some Libras, and it doesn't necessarily have to be long distance traveling. It could be short distance traveling, but if you are going to travel, you're going to be safe to and from. I also assign long distance, however, long distance love affairs and attractions with that Three of Wands. On top of the Two of Pentacles, now we have the Eight of Pentacles. Okay, so I think that, if the messages pertaining to the Nine of Swords has anyone, if they're dealing with a situation where they are being handed layoffs, or, being terminated, or something like that, these cards that follow is a true indicator for me, at least a validation for me that, things are going to get better. So you don't have to really worry so much. Maybe that's the Nine of Swords energy, in the beginning, and then things work themselves out. Remember, you have the Eight of Wands that comes in, and there's some good news that may be associated with that. You got the Temperance card to rebalance things. You got the Moon when it comes to, fluid emotions. Eight of Pentacles, you could just be working, paying attention to the details of your work. But for anyone that I'm reading for, that could be the next job. That could be a promotion. That could be a pay raise. And it also could be bonus money. On top of Temperance here for you, Libra, now we have the Five of Swords. Five of Swords is the conflicting energies, but also could be seen as the reduction of that Nine of Swords. Here you have two people. This looks like a work setting here, and they look like cooks, chefs, or whatever. Two people in the background, or it seem like they're having some sort of odds with this person here. And I always say with the Five of Swords, don't allow people to play in your headspace, but also to you might just be feeling like you're, being pulled in several different directions here in terms of making a decision. But you will figure it out. And then also, too, you might hold or own something, possess something that someone is envious of. Okay, so it could be these two guys here, or envious of the chef who has the leadership position. And, for that reason, that's why he's the king chef, right? Doesn't always have to be material things. Now we have the major arcana, the Emperor. Emperor is that no matter what's going on for you this week, Libra, you're going to be in control. This is what the Emperor represents for me. It's a card of authority. It's a card of leadership. It's a card of authority, leadership. It could be boss mode. So you could be asked to lead over others. You could be promoted to a position. You may be dealing with some court situations this week or not, or you could work in the court system. The character here always associate with an attachment to you. There could be a father figure now over in spirit, but they may have, worked or served some sort of time in the courts or the military. Very stern, very stoic, very, authoritative, earned respect, possibly demanded respect. But what I want you to get out of this, Libra, is that no matter what's going on for you this week, you're going to maintain an aspect of your own control. All right, so the last card I have for you on the Three of Wands. Now, I'm going to finish off with look at that, another big money card, the Nine of Pentacles. This is one of my financial independent cards. So either you're striving to be financially independent or you already are. Hence, it is underneath the Eight of Wands. Remember, something good comes in to put a smile on your face. Here, this is some form of recognition of being rewarded for some task that you may have done. It could be strictly at work. It could be outside of work. Now it's time for you to sit back and relax and enjoy the fruits of your hard work and your labor. So this could be a promotion. This could be a job offer, anything related to businesses, bonus money. Also, Talk about the Nine of Pentacles could be spending. If you have spending and splurging. So if you have access to this type of money and you want to treat yourself or treat others, you're to do so without feeling any types of guilt, because this card always comes through to honor the hard work that you have done. All right, so the shadow card energy here for you is, again, the Four of Blades can also be seen as the reduction of the Nine of Blades. The Nine of Swords. So this is resting, relaxation, rejuvenation, replenishment, quieting your mind, your mental mind, taking time off, detaching your energies from those things that you have become attached to, and just do the things exclusively just for you. Okay, so that would be the the Four Blades, and we already got the movement cards here. So I usually say, when the Four Blades shows up by itself, you could be just planning a future trip. But when the movement cards show up here, you could be not only planning a future trip, but executing, taking that trip during this week's time. All right, so this is what I have for you, Libra. Again, just keep in mind, it's me interpreting these messages here for you. Take what's going to work, leave the rest alone. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. You guys have a wonderful week ahead. Always come back here to get more of these messages from me, Libra, and I'll talk to you real soon. Ciao.